The World Breeding Federation for Sport Horses, better known as the WBFSH, is one of the most influential organizations in the entire equestrian world. But unless you are deeply involved in breeding, dressage, show jumping, or eventing, there is a good chance you have never even heard of it. And yet, this organization quietly helps shape nearly every Olympic-level sport horse competing today. From the Bloodlines dominating Grand Prix dressage to the rankings breeders obsess over and the young horse championships that launch future superstars, the WBFSH sits at the center of modern sport horse breeding. So what exactly is the WBFSH? What do they actually do? And why does this organization have so much influence over the future of equestrian sport? Today, we are diving into the powerful world of the WBFSH, the organization behind many of the greatest sport horses on earth. The letters WBFSH stand for World Breeding Federation for Sport Horses. It is an international federation that connects sport horse breeding organizations known as Studbooks with the FEI, the Fédération Equestria Internationale, which governs international equestrian competition and Olympic horse sport. In simple terms, the WBFSH acts as the global umbrella organization for sport horse breeding. The federation includes dozens of studbooks from around the world, including famous names like KWPN, Hanoverian, Oldenburg, Danish Warmblood, Holsteiner, and Selle Français. These studbooks are responsible for breeding and registering horses specifically designed for elite equestrian sport. Unlike many traditional horse breeds, sport horses are bred primarily for athletic ability. They are developed to excel in disciplines like dressage, show jumping, and eventing. And the WBFSH helps coordinate rank and promote those breeding programs internationally. One of the biggest things the WBFSH does is publish world rankings. Every year, the organization tracks FEI competition results and creates rankings for horses, stallions, breeders, and studbooks. These rankings are an enormous deal in the horse breeding industry because they directly influence breeding decisions and even the future direction of modern sport horse breeding itself. If a stallion produces successful offspring competing at the highest levels of international sport, his ranking rises. As his ranking improves, breeders around the world become more interested in using him. His breeding fees increase, demand for his offspring grows, and his bloodlines become more influential across the sport horse world. The same is true for studbooks. If a studbook consistently produces elite horses, its international reputation grows stronger, and breeders begin looking more closely at the bloodlines associated with that registry. The rankings are based on FEI competition results from international dressage, show jumping, and eventing competition. The higher the level of competition, the more valuable the points become. Olympic Games, World Championships, Nation Cups, and major international events carry especially high value. Because of this, the WBFSH rankings are often viewed as the closest thing the horse breeding world has to a global performance evaluation system. The WBFSH is also famous for organizing the World Breeding Championships for young horses. These championships exist in dressage, show jumping, and eventing, and they are considered some of the most important young horse competitions in the world. Young horses compete against others of the same age, usually at 5, 6, and 7 years old, and the championships are designed to identify future stars before they ever reach Grand Prix or championship level. In dressage, judges evaluate qualities like movement, elasticity, balance, rideability, and overall potential as a future dressage horse. In show jumping, the championships showcase the best young jumping horses in the world and often act as an early predictor of future international success. For breeders, riders, and investors, these championships are hugely important because winning can instantly transform a horse into a highly valuable breeding prospect. Many Olympic horses first became known through the WBFSH Young Horse Championships. Another important role of the WBFSH involves international horse identification and traceability systems. One of the organization's major projects is the Universal Equine Life Number System, commonly known as the UELN. This system gives horses internationally recognized identification numbers that stay with them for life. That improves pedigree, tracking, breeding records, owner documentation, and international traceability. As horses increasingly travel across borders for breeding and competition, systems like this have become essential for the modern horse industry. They help maintain accurate records and improve transparency within the global breeding world. In recent years, the WBFSH has also become increasingly involved in conversations surrounding horse welfare and sustainability. And honestly, this may become one of the most important parts of the organization's future. Modern equestrian sport faces growing public scrutiny regarding training methods, horse welfare, soundness, breeding ethics, and the long-term sustainability of elite competition. Organizations like the WBFSH are now under increasing pressure to show that sport horse breeding can remain ethical, transparent, and responsible in a changing world. The Federation has emphasized responsible breeding, data collection, transparency, and cooperation with the FEI as important parts of the future of the horse sport. That shift reflects the growing realization that modern equestrian sport cannot survive long-term without maintaining public trust. However, the WBFSH is not without criticism. Some people argue that modern sport horse breeding has become too focused on producing spectacular movement and highly specialized athletic traits. Critics believe this can sometimes lead to soundness problems, fragile horses, shorter careers, or welfare concerns. Others argue that because the WBFSH rankings reward competitive success, breeders may feel pressure to prioritize extreme performance traits over long-term durability and overall horse welfare. These debates are becoming increasingly important as the equestrian world faces greater public attention and criticism. What makes the WBFSH so fascinating is that most casual riders never think about it. But behind nearly every famous sport horse bloodline, there is usually a breeding system connected to the WBFSH. Whether it is Dutch warmbloods dominating modern dressage, Hanoverians producing Olympic talent, Holsteiners succeeding in show jumping, or Francais horses competing at the highest levels, the WBFSH helps connect all of it through international rankings, championships, and breeding cooperation. The organization sits at the intersection of breeding, genetics, elite sport, economics, and horse welfare. Because of that, it quietly influences the future of equestrian sport itself. The biggest question moving forward is whether organizations like the WBFSH can successfully balance elite performance with horse welfare and sustainability. Because modern horse sport is changing, public expectations are changing, and the future of dressage, show jumping, and eventing may depend not only on producing extraordinary horses, but on proving that those horses are being bred, trained, and managed ethically. That may ultimately become the WBFSH's most important responsibility of all, not just creating champions, but helping ensure the future of horse sport survives. So the next time you hear about a top-ranked stallion, an Olympic bloodline, a famous stud book, or a world champion young horse, remember that there was a global organization connecting all of it behind the scenes. The WBFSH may not be a household name outside the breeding world, but it is one of the most powerful forces shaping modern equestrian sport today. And remember, I am not AI. If you listen closely, you can hear me breathing.